Hey everybody, Victoria here with Cosmic Ascension. Welcome to day 28 out of 40 of my juice cleanse. If you have been following along so far, you know I have had many ups and downs on this journey, and that you may have known that I started the clay and husk to release mucoid plaque back on day 12. So stick around to find out, did I release mucoid plaque or not? And the other benefits and kind of the other symptoms I've been feeling on this juice fast. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and let's get into it. So, on this juice fast so far, like I've mentioned, I've had many ups and downs. I've had many feelings of feeling really good and going through some very extreme detox. And you may have noticed that I did not make a day 21 update. And that is because on day 21, I experienced the most extreme detox. I was sick to my stomach. I had headache, and the headache was so extreme that I actually needed to go to bed. And that was really intense. It kind of felt like how I used to feel when I suffered from IBS, meaning like the stomach pains, and then turn would lead to like my head hurting and other symptoms of that nature. And so I was like, oh, I do not like this. I do not like that I am feeling all of this detox. This is horrible. I'm just going to go to bed. I'm just going to, you know, try to sleep this off. And what's interesting is the next day I woke up, the headache was gone, but I was still feeling like really my stomach was really upset like the whole entire day. I was bloated. I felt miserable. I was releasing, you know, so I was having bowel movements, but nothing seemed to settle my stomach down. And that night, I actually went to bed and I had memories pop up. Um, Memories from all over the place of different people, different events, different circumstances that just didn't settle well throughout my life. Different events that memories, I should say, that made me feel less than, that had the feelings of loneliness and, lack of worthiness and sadness and anxiousness. And if you've been through those, you know exactly what I'm saying. And obviously, I can't mask. I can't go to the kitchen and be like, oh, screw this. I'm going to have some chocolate cake, or I'm going to have like a shot of tequila or something of that nature, or I'm going to smoke some marijuana and try to quiet my thoughts. You have nothing like that. I'm completely sober anyways. So you sit there with these feelings kind of coming up, and then they came up. I let them flow into my heart space. They flew into my heart space and they were released. And they would come up, go through my heart space, and I would let it go. And so on and so forth until nothing else came up for me. And I finally went back to sleep and I woke up and I felt so much lighter. I felt refreshed. I felt good. I felt like I was finally starting to work through my emotional trauma. I think for me, that was huge. Working through that and just letting it finally release from my body. I had such deep emotional traumas at a cellular level, and my body was finally able to start healing. And my body's like, we can let this go. Let's let it go. You've come a long way on your spiritual journey. You're on this juice fast. We're going to release this. We're going to, let it go. And another really interesting event happened as well. I don't know, I would say about 5 nights ago, I was laying in bed and once again, I was woken up in the middle of the night. And this time was deep childhood trauma that came up for me. And I don't know how to describe my childhood. I would say that it was toxic. I was raised by drug addicts, so you could decipher what I kind of mean to grow up in a toxic drug addicted household. And memories were popping up for me that I didn't even know existed, or I did remember when, because I pushed them so far back in my unconscious, and they just got brought up to the surface again. And I was crying and I was just releasing these childhood traumas. I was just like, just release, just release. And I was just like letting them go. And it was insane for me. I never went through so much emotional purge. I mean, I have, but I haven't. I went through emotional purges going on my spiritual journey and doing some shadow work, but I think that this is like a whole nother level because my vessel of my body is so clean, and because the vessel of my body is so pure right now, it's able to come up and to be dealt with. I think sometimes when I would do the shadow work, or try to heal, I would do it, but I don't think I would fully do it. I've went through some crazy stuff, don't get me wrong, through shadow work, but this was a whole nother type of level. And so if you are somebody like me going through deep emotional trauma and you're having a hard time releasing that and having a hard time losing weight, know that you can start a juice fast and kind of see how it works for you, kind of see if this is something meant for you, so you can start releasing this trauma, so you can come back to truly who you are, to come back to presence, to come back to your heart space, and to truly be who you're supposed to be, and to become high vibrational, and to become pure. And so I did want to mention that the first emotional release trauma that I did, uh, the next day, I said I felt lighter, I felt good. I released two huge parasites. Yeah, parasites. I released two big ones, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I did want to mention too that when I wasn't feeling well, I was having crazy cravings. I wanted hot dogs. I'm like, hot dogs? Why the heck would I want hot dogs? First of all, I haven't had meat in years. Like, I was a vegetarian and then I was vegan. So, where is this craving from all beef hot dogs or bratwurst coming from? You know? And I had, other cravings too, like queso dip or, sweets, those kind of thing. And I kept getting images of a huge parasite, like screaming out and like dying. It was like, ah, like, and I kept getting those images in my brain. And I'm like, this is so bizarre. This is weird. I don't know why I'm having these images of this parasite dying. And then obviously, the few days that followed, I released two big parasites. So that was just confirmation that my brain was signaling to me that, yeah, you were actually, killing them. And I was finally releasing them. It felt so good to release them. Ever since I released them, I have been feeling fantastic. I've been walking on clouds. I am in even more deeply in a meditative state. I feel really good. I just have surrendered to the flow of life. I'm having many creative downloads. I am just feeling really good. And I have slimmed down more. I've lost a total of about 17 pounds so far. My face has slimmed down. No bloating, no inflammation. Although I did have the bloating, like I said, before I released the parasites, but that's just a little asterisk next to really not feeling bloated at all. My back acne's gone. My hair's not falling out. I just feel really good. And I was hoping I would finally reach that on my cleanse. I was like, man, I watch a lot of different interviews to help me keep me going and motivated on this juice cleanse. And I was like, man, a lot of these people are talking about feeling really good. And I'm going through a lot of ups and downs, and I don't feel that good. And I don't like that. And finally, the past, I don't know, released those parasites last week. Yeah, last week I released those parasites. And this week, so I don't know, I would say like 6 days or so, 7 days, 7 days that I've been feeling really good on this cleanse. And I'm like, wow, this is what people are talking about. This is like the Satori, Zen, like feeling really good, feeling really great moment. And I'm just now seeing it, and I can surrender to the flow of life. And I'm like, what happens, happens. And the, universe or gods, they're going to lead me and they're going to guide me on my way. And I thought that to be amazing. And like I said, I've been listening to a lot of Neville Goddard. And then I really got into Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural, and I'm reading that as well. And I just feel like it goes along with my juice cleanse, if I can be completely honest. Reaching these states of surrender and presence, and you're meditating and you're just reaching your highest potential. And I'm like, wow, I want to reach my highest potential. I want to be strong, in my power, I guess is the best way to put that. Strong and in my power. And being an empowering person and inspiring others, that's truly what I want to do on this, when I finish this cleanse, and even while I'm on this cleanse. And I can't wait to update you, though, when we get to day 35 here. And I guess I'll update again on day 40, right? And kind of what's my next steps? What else am I going to do? But the moment you've all been waiting for, have I released mucoid plaque? Yes, I have released mucoid plaque. I was so scared that I wasn't going to release it. I It's hard because I don't know if I started releasing it on day 12 or not. Technically, I didn't start releasing it until day 15, because that's when I got it verified if I was releasing. Before then, I wasn't too sure. I was like, this doesn't really look like some people's pictures. This doesn't really look like what others are doing. And so I finally, on day 15, felt like, okay, this is cool. And I finally sent a picture to my coach, and he's like, yep, you are releasing it. And I was like, yes. Oh, this is so awesome. And I do want to note that the night before, I released a really long strand of maybe plaque, but I didn't take a picture of it. It was like kind of you get excited. You're like, oh, did I release it? Oh my gosh. And then you go to like grab it, or, examine it, and then you flush, not even thinking about it, whatever. Yes, I examine every time I go, because I'm like, you know what? I want to see if I release. And then I was releasing and releasing, and I was going a lot. I was going like 6, 7 times per day up until the last few days. I have kind of slow down a little bit, I would say we get like maybe like 2 to 3 huge releases of the plaque going in there. I'm still releasing parasites, not as big, but parasites are still coming out of me. And if you want to know if you're releasing plaque, is you have to check to see if it smells really bad. And the best way to kind of describe for me personally was it sounded like it smelled like stuff that's been up in there. I haven't had meat in years, like I mentioned earlier. And so I haven't had meat in years. And I smell like old meat. That's the best way to describe it. Old meat. It smells so gross. And then it's very like rubbery, and I don't know how to describe it. Squishy. It's like something you've never seen before. And so, or smelled before. It was gross. And so that's enough graphic detail, but you get what I'm trying to say. So if you're going on this juice cleanse and you're not sure if you're releasing it, always, if you don't have a coach, you could try Google, but it's not always the best. I tried Google too to see if like what I was releasing. Everybody's plaque's gonna look different. So it's hard to kind of decipher whether or not you are releasing it based off of Google images, if that makes sense. I think for you is choose your best judgment. Does it smell old and foul? Is it rubbery? Does it kind of all clump together? Yeah, is it a weird consistency? And that's kind of what I would base my mucoid plaque off of. And you know your body best. And so honestly, that's what I would do. And I was fortunate, like I said, because I had a coach that's gone through this before. So he was able to look at that and be like, yep, that is. But now over time with releasing, I can kind of look at it myself and be like, yeah, that's mucoid plaque. So, you have to use your best judgment on this. And so, yeah, still releasing the plaque, still feel fantastic. I do go through a little bit of stomach pains here and there when I take the husk and clay, but that's pretty normal as long as it's not extreme and as long as it's not like, oh, I can't even get off the couch. I can't even, go to work or go to school or anything like that. Then that's when I would be like, okay, time to take it down a notch because you want to keep increasing as much as you can handle it. Right now, I'm at 4 tablespoons husk and 2 tablespoons clay. I did start off at 1 tablespoon and and have worked my way up. I'm pretty sure when I meet with my coach tomorrow, we will discuss me going up to 5 tablespoons husk, 2 tablespoons clay, just to kind of keep more stuff coming out because you wanted it to get out as fast as possible. You don't want it to be sitting in there and you don't want it to be going. And I apologize for any background noise. My dog is chewing on the bone. And I think you've seen him walking around here. It is what it is. But yeah, so that's kind of my journey of the mucoid plaque release. It's been cool. It's been a journey. Don't don't get scared. Know that you are definitely going to release it unless you have maybe something more serious going on, but I've seen people from all walks of life being able to release the plaque. And yeah, that's kind of been it so far. I'm really grateful to be on this journey. I think it's been amazing. I think it's been out of this world. I didn't think I would make it this far, to be honest with you. I'm like, what? Day 28? That's insanity. Uh, and I'm only what 21 more days to go. I think I can do this. I know I can do this. No, less than that. Wow, I cannot do math. Like 12 days to go. 12 days to go on this journey. And I am so happy about it. I'm loving life. I used to be so angry and so miserable. And for me to be looking at the brighter side of life and to be positive right now is absolutely amazing. I cannot tell you, wouldn't trade this journey for the world. If you thought about doing a juice cleanse, even if it's just for a few days, even if it's for a week, even if it's just for a day, try it. You never know how it's going to change your life, and you never know what that's going to propel you to do. Thank you, everybody, for coming and watching my video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on day 35. All right, bye.